that the cemetery's going to be closed, going to be built on. Do you know about this?
Yes. Yes. Didn't you know?
Was someone supposed to tell us?
Johnny, what are they saying? They're annoyed about the cemetery being built on. There's a story in the paper.
Hurry up! I can't hold it much longer. I am not as alive as I was. Oh, this is our home. We have to be here. Supposing the day of judgment comes, what happens to us then, young man?
Some constituents have expressed concerns with Liberty. They want to know what happens to people in graveyards if they get built on.
Councillor, I think I can reassure you on that point. Our operation will naturally include a programme of relocation. I mean, when the time's appropriate.
It's just that some of the voters are a little anxious.
Oh, for
that
heaven's sake,
perhaps...
man, stop worrying about trivia. The coffins will be dug up and put somewhere else. That's all there is to it. I'm not standing for that. £5, 7 shillings and sixpence I paid for my plot. I remember the document distinctly. Last resting place, it said. It didn't say, after 80 years, you'll be dug up and moved for a lot of clerks.
People will have to listen. I have served this city faithfully for 50 years. I don't see why I should lose my home just because I'm dead.
Votes for the dead!
What are they saying?
They want to vote.
The dead can't vote.
That's what the living have decided. But I don't see why we should be disenfranchised just because we're disembodied. We should rise up and smash the breathing classes!
Shut up, you wretched Bolshevik.
Smash the breathing classes!
All right. I'll see what I can do.
Good man. And we'd like a paper delivered every day. No, it's too hard to turn the pages.
Well, we must know what's happening. I mean, there's no knowing what the living will get up to when our backs are turned.
I'll think of something. Something better than a newspaper.
Right, John. So get along to that council and tell them... Tell them that we're not going to take this lying down!
Have they gone?
Not that they were here.
They were here. And they've gone. It definitely felt a bit weird. It was very cold. Come on, let's get out of here. I need to think. I knew that if I didn't do anything, I'd never find out what would have happened next. I'd go away and grow up and get a job, and I'd never know. So what's going on then, Johnny? They want me to stop the cemetery being built on. They've left it up to me.
We'll help, will we? I mean, Johnny's okay, but I mean, it's meddling with your cult.
The dead aren't a cult. They're just ancestors. Grandad,
Yes?
how famous was William Stickers?
Very famous man.
But I can't find him in the encyclopedia.
A very famous man was William Stickers. Look at that.
What about Mr. Antonio Vicenti?
What? Oh, Tony Vicenti? What's he up to now?
Was he famous for anything?
He ran a joke shop in Elmer Street. Of course, they pulled all those little streets down when they built the block. You could buy stink bombs and itchy powder. And he used to do conjuring tricks at kids' parties when your mum was a girl.
But was he a famous man?
All the kids knew him. Only children's entertainer in these parts, see?
So he wasn't, like, really famous. Not really famous.
Prisoner of war he was in Germany. But he escaped. Always escaping from things he was. Very smart, too. Haven't seen him about for years.
Hello? Anyone there? It's me. I've bought this radio. It's easier for you than newspapers. You just turn these knobs and radio comes out. I did some thinking last night, and I thought, well, if everyone knew about the famous people in here, then they're bound to leave the cemetery alone. I know it's not a very good idea, but it's all I could come up with. So if you don't mind, I'll just take some notes.
Okay, yeah, lovely. Just move it a bit, just a bit to the left.
What did you say the alderman was called? Alderman Thomas Bowler. Why?
Well, it says here he got the council to build a memorial horse trough in the square in 1905. It came in useful very quickly, it says.
The next day, the first car ever to arrive in Blackberry crashed into it and caught fire. They used the water to put the fire out. The council praised Alderman Bowler for his forward thinking. It says here that Addison Vincent Fletcher of Alma Terrace invented a form of telephone in 1922.
Oh, great. Telephones have been invented years before that.
It says he said this one was better.
Oh, yeah. Hello? Mr. Alexander Graham Bell? You know that telephone you invented years ago? Well, mine's better.
Well, we simply must know what's going on.
Yeah, well, the boy said he'd bring us something better than a newspaper.
Arriving in the country for the first time today. Dogger Bank, 43, and Thunderbolt coming for Sam.
And on Women's Hour today, we have the Scottish novelist, Philip White.
Government ban.
So that's wireless telegraphy, is it?
Invented by the great Marconi.
Do you know who he stole the idea from? Who cares who invented the wretched thing? Let's listen to what the living are doing.
Plotting to steal our cemetery. That's what they're doing.
Here, look at this one.
Well?
It's from 1916. They're all going off to war.
Which one?
The first one, you idiot. World War I. Says here it's the Blackberry Old Pals Battalion. They're just going off to fight. They all joined up at the same time.
They all died. All of them. Weeks after the picture was taken.
Except for Atkins T. It says here what a Pals Battalion was. It says people from one town, or even one street, could all join the army together if they wanted, and all got sent to the same place.
I didn't know all this was going on. Did you? All this music? And the things they talk about. And who is this prince? And why is the Madonna singing on the wireless? And what is the Batman? They said the last Prime Minister was a woman. Well, that can't be possible. Women can't even vote.
Oh, yes, they can.
Hurrah!
Well, they couldn't in my day.
Well, there's so much we don't know.
So why don't we find out?
How?
Well, the gentleman on the wireless said that we could telephone the wireless station to discuss problems that affect us all today. A phoning program, I think he said.
Finally, Alan, one for you. Thank you very much, gentlemen. We're well and truly on our way. Here's to United Amalgamated. United Amalgamated. Thank you.
There is a phone box out in the street.
Yeah, but that's on the outside.
Not far outside.
Well, you know the rules.
The little boy stood in front of us and he talked to us. And he was so frightened. And we can't walk 6 feet.
But this is our place. This is where we belong.
A few steps won't hurt us.
Are you all right, Johnny? What? Oh, yeah. I'm just wondering what happened to Atkins' tea.
It was 1916. If he's still alive, he'll be dead.
How do we get this thing to work?
Well, you should know, Mr. Fletcher. You invented it.
Well, actually, that was Alexander Graham Bell, Mrs. Liberty. I just improved upon it.
Well, you must make it work. I want to speak to the man on the wireless machine.
Let me do the talking. The people's voice must be heard.
Certainly not, you wretched Bolshevik. Mr. Fletcher, please be so kind as to expedite the electric communication.
I think I have mastered the intricacies, Mrs. Liberty.
Hello?
88.5 VHF, this is your very own
Hello?
radio station, Blackberry Radio.
Hello?
My name is Mike Mike, for the next few hours. Phoning today is about the closure of the fish market. Do you want it closed?
It's the old Blackberry Rubber Boot Factory Band playing the floral dance. Very famous piece.
You just play 16 Not Black. I'm going to report you to the Rastafarians.
You like reggae and blues.
Well, that's different.
Hello, this is Mrs. Sylvia Liberty speaking on the electric telephone.
The caller on all
I
the
demand
lines
to be heard this instant.
We are talking about the closure of the fish market.
The fish market is of no importance whatsoever. I don't even like fish.
Yes, I know, madam.
Don't you cut me
Don't
off
know
by
what's-
playing any more of those phonograph cylinders. Do you realize that innocent people are being evicted simply because of a question of birth? I mean death. It is outrageous that the authorities do absolutely nothing whatsoever to help us. I mean, it's bad enough having people walking over my grave.
As Alderman of this city, I demand
Now,
an explanation.
there's only
They're nothing
one
but bourgeois
person-
lackeys.
Oh, do shut up.
We're not going to lose our
Hey,
grade
hey,
over our
hey,
anybody.
one person
I've
has
been
to
down
say,
with
"Oh,
eight masses, that's right.
That's them, isn't it? Yes. It's them. It doesn't sound like normal radio. How can they use the phone?
I don't know. I suppose some of them knew how to use the phone when they were alive. Who's that one singing? I think it's William Stickers. He's a bit of a communist.
I didn't think there were any communists left these days.
There aren't, and he's one of them.
You know what I think? I think you started something.
That's what I think too.
Nah, voices on the radio? That's just kids messing about. Listen, ghosts do not phone up radio stations.
I see. This is rather invigorating. I've never been outside the cemetery before.
You're outside. Oh, you know that's wrong.
Well, only a little way out, Eric.
It's wrong.
Well, it can't do any harm.
It's wrong.
Well, it's for the good of the cause.
You'll get into terrible trouble. It's dabbling with the known.
No. He may have a point.
We don't have to listen to him. Dial the next number, Mr. Fletcher.
Now, we must find young Johnny. I wonder what he meant by having to find someone famous buried in the cemetery. I mean, after all, we're here.
You've got to come. You know she likes to see you.
No, she doesn't. She forgets who I am. I mean, she calls me Peter. That's my dad's name. And anyway, why isn't Grandad coming?
It's Marky and Mo's Saturday Spectacular. You know he doesn't like to miss it.
All right.
We don't have to stay long.
Those rings when they're out. Yes? He's not here. Gone out. Who? Well, is it? Never. Still doing the conjuring tricks, are you? Haven't seen you about the town much lately. No, right, that's right. I don't get out much myself these days. How you been keeping in yourself? Dead. I see, but you got out to use the telephone. It's wonderful what they can do with science. You sound a long way off. Right, you are a long way off. Yes, right, I'll tell him. Nice to hear from you. Goodbye.
It wasn't that Sunshine Acres was a bad place. As far as I could see, it was clean enough and the staff seemed okay. But it was more gloomy than the cemetery. All the old people could do was hang around.
Open the door, will you, love? My hands are full. Now, can I help you, love?
Well, I thought I'd pop in and see Mr. Atkins. I'm doing a project on the Blackberry Pals.
Well, he passed away yesterday, dear. Well, nearly 97, I think he was. Did you know him?
Not really.
Well, he's been here for years. Nice old man. He used to show us his old army paybook. Tommy Atkins, he'd say. I'm the one.
Yowza, 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 yowza! And the next caller on Uncle Mad Jim's bodacious problem corner is...
William Stickers, Mad Jim.
Hi, Bill. You sound a bit depressed to me.
It's worse than that. I'm dead, Jim.
Wow. I can see that could be a real downer. Care to tell us about it, Bill?
I just heard that there isn't even a Soviet Union anymore. What happened?
Seems to me you haven't been keeping up with current events, Bill.
And I thought I'd explain that.
Yeah, sure. You said you've been dead, and now you're alive again, right?
No, still dead. It's not something you get better from, Jim.
I'm sure everyone out there would like to know, Billy boy. Are there angels?
Angels? Certainly not.
I hope there aren't any naughty men with pitchforks, then.
What on earth are you blabbering on about, man? There's only me and old Tom Boulder and Sylvia Liberty and the rest of them.
So, what's your request?
Well, the Internationale, of course.
The Internationale? Can't say I've heard of that one.
Internationale, the song of the downtrodden masses. The Internationale unites the human race. Cretin!
Doesn't fire a neuron, Bill, but for you and all the other dead people out there tonight, everywhere, here's the new hip-hop version of Thriller. Okay, take it away.
This is how you do it. So you spin round with your arms out, you go, ow! Get down! Now, what do you know of the wireless say?
Bogey, I believe.
Bogey.
You shouldn't be doing this.
Oh, why not?
It's the middle of the night.
Oh, we don't sleep.
But, I mean, what would your descendants think if they saw you acting like this?
Well, serves them right for not calling on us.
Oh, that really was most enjoyable. Mr. Fletcher, would you be so kind as to ask the gentleman on the wireless if he would play some more music?
Certainly, Mrs. Liberty.
Hello, John. Call this a world, do you?
Me? Well, I don't call it anything.
Was that man on the radio making fun of me?
Oh, no.
Mr. Stickers is annoyed because he telephoned Moscow and they said they had enough revolutions for the moment, thank you, but would like some soap.
They're nothing but dirty capitalists.
Ah, but now they want to be clean capitalists. I don't think we've met. Solomon Einstein, 1869 to 1932.
What, like Albert Einstein?
He was my distant cousin. Relatively speaking, of course. Laugh. I could have died if I hadn't died already.
Send him away.
Who's that?
Mr. Grimm.
Oh, yes. I couldn't find anything about him in the newspaper.
I'm not surprised. In those days, there were things they did not put in. You go away, boy. You're meddling with things you don't understand. You're imperiling your immortal soul. And theirs. You go away, you bad boy.
You said you couldn't leave the cemetery.
There are rules, Johnny. No one has explained this to you. They do not teach you in schools.
Well, I'm sorry, but we don't have lessons in dealing with ghosts. Sorry, with dead people, I mean.
We are not ghosts, Johnny. A ghost is a very sad thing. We are something else. But now, you see us and hear us. You are making us free. You are giving us what we do not have.
What's that?
I can't explain. But while you are thinking of us, we are free.
But how do I...